Good day, students. Welcome to week 5 of your JSS 1 Christian Religious Studies program. Today we begin our study of Jesus Christ, the central figure of the Christian faith. Everything in the Old Testament points forward to him, and everything in the New Testament flows from him. We will focus on the birth and early life of Jesus as recorded in Matthew and Luke. These two accounts together give us a rich and complete picture of how the Son of God entered human history. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain the meaning of the Incarnation, recount the Annunciation to Mary, describe the birth in Bethlehem, describe the visit of the wise men and the escape to Egypt, and recount the story of Jesus at the temple at age 12. The doctrine of the Incarnation is the teaching that the eternal Son of God, who existed before all creation, took on human flesh and was born as a human being. The Apostle John states this plainly in John chapter 1, verse 14. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory. The glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. This is the central mystery and miracle of the Christian faith, that God humbled himself to become one of us. He was not half God and half man. He was fully God and fully man, able to sympathize with our weaknesses because he shared our human experience, yet without sin. The account of Jesus' birth begins with a young woman named Mary in Nazareth. She was betrothed to a man named Joseph, a carpenter descended from King David. The angel Gabriel appeared to Mary and said, Luke chapter 1, verse 28. Greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you. Mary was startled and troubled. Gabriel said, Do not be afraid, Mary. You will conceive and give birth to a son, and you are to call him Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High. His kingdom will never end. Mary asked, How will this be, since I am a virgin? Gabriel answered, The Holy Spirit will come on you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. So the Holy One to be born will be called the Son of God. Mary responded, I am the Lord's servant. May your word to me be fulfilled. This response of faith and obedience makes Mary a model of Christian discipleship. Joseph and Mary traveled from Nazareth to Bethlehem because the Roman Emperor Caesar Augustus had ordered a census. Every person had to return to their ancestral town. Joseph was of the house of David, and David's city was Bethlehem. When they arrived, there was no room for them in the inn. Mary gave birth to Jesus in a stable, wrapped him in cloths, and laid him in a manger, a feeding trough for animals. The only account of Jesus' childhood after the return from Egypt is the story of his visit to Jerusalem at age 12. Joseph and Mary took Jesus to Jerusalem every year for the Passover festival. When he was 12, after the festival ended, the family began the journey home. But Jesus had stayed behind. They did not realize until after a full day of travel. They searched for 3 days before finding him in the temple courts, sitting among the teachers, listening and asking questions. Everyone was amazed at his understanding and his answers. Mary said, Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously searching for you. Jesus answered, Luke chapter 2, verse 49, Why were you searching for me? Did you not know that I had to be in my Father's house? Even at 12, Jesus understood his unique relationship with God as his Father. Yet he went home with them and was obedient to them. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature, and in favor with God and man. What does the birth and early life of Jesus teach us? First, God enters the humblest circumstances. Jesus was born not in a palace, but in a stable. God honors faithfulness, not status. Second, Mary's obedience is a model for every young person. When God calls you, the right response is, I am the Lord's servant. May your word to me be fulfilled. Third, Jesus grew in wisdom, stature, and favor with God and man. Your JSS years are a season of growth, use them well. Let us review. The Incarnation, God the Son became human, John 1, verse 14. Gabriel announced to Mary that she would conceive by the Holy Spirit. Jesus was born in Bethlehem, shepherds and angels celebrated, wise men brought gifts. Herod tried to kill Jesus, the family fled to Egypt and returned after his death. At age 12, Jesus taught in the temple and called God his Father. For homework, read Luke chapter 2 in full. Draw and label the main events of Jesus' birth narrative and write one lesson from each event.